Well, hello and welcome to Click Spotlight. My name is John Sands, and today we have the spotlight on the Singapore office and a new person that is now not a new person to Click, but a new person to the Singapore office, and that's Chaitanya Avasarala, and he's a director of Channels APAC. Welcome, Chaitanya.
Thank you, John.
It's my pleasure. So you've only recently just arrived in Singapore, haven't you? You were working out of the Indian office.
Oh yes, this is my second month in the Singapore office,
Okay.
and but I've been in Click for about 9 years now. This is my ninth year in Click.
Ninth year. God,
Yeah.
that's. How have you found the transition from India to Singapore? How's that been?
Oh well, yes. I mean, I have been working in this role for the last 2 years.
Mm.
Before that, I kind of managed the India partner programs, and even before that, for the first 4.5, 5 years in Click, I was the territory sales manager and the partner sales manager
Ah,
for Western region of India.
yeah.
So the transition has been quite well, actually, because the role is not new to me. I've been doing this for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But coming to Singapore is a refreshing change, definitely working with all the key
Mm.
executive management here.
Could because you talk about India and Singapore, and they're two very, very different
Oh,
places,
yeah,
aren't they? And they all have their good points, obviously.
true.
But Singapore, yeah, the real chalk and cheese, those two
Yes,
places.
absolutely, absolutely. I have lived in Bombay for about 13 years,
Mm.
and you see a inherent order in chaos in Bombay,
Yes.
and and I know you have been there, John.
Yeah, many
A couple of
times. Yeah.
times and many times, and you know what I
Mm.
mean. Singapore is very orderly and very different from Bombay, but each of them have their own unique flavors,
Yeah.
something that
Yeah.
we will always relish.
It's good. Is that's the beauty of being a company that we are. We're global. Play. We get the some of us get the opportunity to see these real contrasts, and
True,
one wouldn't be the same without the other. So I think it's brilliant. So
absolutely.
so you've explained your role. What are the challenges that you're facing currently in the APAC region?
Right. See, I
Challenges or
handle.
opportunities, I suppose. That's whichever way
Yeah,
you want to
that's
take
the
it.
way
Yeah.
I would actually
Yeah.
put it. See, I lead the commercial and the OEM business for Asia Pacific, and I
Mm.
work with a team of commercial and OEM managers and account directors across the sub-regions. Uh, the biggest challenge, I mean, we all know that it's only in 2018 that we have kind of transitioned into this GTM model of
Yeah.
enterprise and commercial. And unique to APAC, I mean, may not be as relevant in other regions, is that 100% of our partner account managers have moved from being partner managers before and into
Mm.
commercial account managers with direct quota numbers coming to them, which was initially a little bit of a difference, and the way to approach is a little different.
Yeah.
Uh, but we have transitioned very beautifully
Mm.
with the sheer grit and determination of all the team members that we have here in the commercial team. Knock wood, we have been delivering more than our numbers quarter on quarter for the last 6 quarters.
That is fantastic.
That's one challenge and opportunity
Mm.
that we have kind of come out of. The second challenge and opportunity that I see is the kind of investments that we have made in acquiring organizations,
Mm.
products like Click Data Catalyst and Attunity.
Yeah. Yeah.
The real challenge is how do we percolate this message right down to the team members and the partners.
Mm.
And unless we have a consistent communication, it's going to be a bit of challenge. But that is something that we are addressing on a daily basis here.
Yeah.
And there are only a few set of partners who actually can understand and transition into this phase. We have to. The real challenge is identifying who is who,
Yeah.
and invest our efforts in that direction, or align with some really different kind of partners and make sure that we prepare them for the future.
Mm. Now, you touched on the acquisition of Opportunity, and I'm presuming
Right.
events such as Connections have help in that getting that messaging across. Did you have many partners that went to Connections?
Absolutely. There is a good amount of representation from partners and customers.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
more customers have attended than partners this time in connections from Asia
Okay.
Pacific. And that is a very good sign that we have been able to bring those customers to connections.
Mm.
And I see that these acquisitions have been taken in a very, very good positive note
Yeah.
by a large segment of partners and customers. And the noise that I really like to hear is from the system integrators who have actually taken this and understand that there is an alternate stack available
Mm.
now with our acquisitions. We complete the enterprise data management space through and through to the visualization. So that's really exciting for me.
Yeah, that was the feedback I was getting during connections was that
Right.
whole well we do the all of it. And one of the other things that they were saying about was around the fact that actually data sorry the Attunity is visualization agnostic, isn't it? So it can be
Absolutely.
used in whatever. And I feel that is a real plus that we can
Absolutely.
sell a product that gives us a solution, but we're not saying you have to use Click on top of this. We're
Very
offering
right.
you a
Very
solution
right.
which is
It
fantastic.
changes our entry point into
Mm.
a lot many accounts, and that is what is extremely exciting to me.
Yeah, yeah, I feel so. That's one thing that we're going through at the moment. The acquisitions, as you said, like Data Catalyst, Attunity. We also had um, the um, the bot as well, the
Right.
ClickSense bot. That's another product. But
Oh yeah.
also, there's another thing underlying all of this, and that's the move over to subscription and software as a service. So, how
Yes.
are you finding? I mean, that also can be a challenge for partners. So, how are you finding, the way that's being received?
Interestingly, we didn't have much of a challenge when we were transitioning from the perpetual world to the subscription world.
Mm.
Probably because our partners are used to our competitors offering subscription to the customers all the
Yeah.
way through. So they have been used to this kind of play. So that's not much of a challenge that I saw with the partners. Of course, there will be one or two partners who
Mm.
actually come back and say they would prefer the perpetual than the
Yeah.
subscription, but of course, they will take a little bit of time to get through to
Mm.
our kind of messaging and our kind of GTM strategy. But eventually, I think everybody will kind of align themselves with that.
Yeah. And I presume that's a conversation you can have is around if they still want to sell perpetual, then that is a conversation we can have with them around that.
Oh yes,
Mm.
absolutely, totally.
Okay. So what's in your roadmap for partners? The APAC region is really, I feel, coming good at the moment, and there seems to be a lot of excitement around APAC. And there's Jeff, the new APAC
Yes.
VP, that's doing that. So what have
That's
you
right.
got in store for the APAC region with yourself?
Yeah. So, very interestingly, what we have done, John, is
Mm.
last year we have taken a conscious call, given that we are a very lean commercial and partner team in APAC.
Yeah.
We have segmented our partners into focus and non-focus partners in alignment with the global program office directives.
Mm.
And we have actually found that about 70% of our entire partner revenue flows through about 20% of less than 20% of our partners' ecosystem,
Yeah.
and who are aligned with our strategy, who are aligned with our growth plans. So we have kind of brought them as focus partner segment where we are investing very heavily. And my one of the other things that I do is because 70% of my commercial number, flows through those focus partners
Yeah.
as well. Uh, my job is to kind of align with them, get them aligned to our strategy and the way we are going, and focus on the overall health of that focus partner
Mm.
ecosystem. So there are only a couple of things that are on my plate for 2019 looking to 2020. One is, of course, ensure that we have a very strong H2. We
Yeah.
close the numbers that we have committed. We close the numbers that the partners have committed to us. The second thing is, within this focus partner segment, I want to identify a very strong base of partners who can really work with us on the Data Catalyst
Yeah.
enterprise data management
Mm.
strategy, Data Catalyst and Attunity, enable them, coach them, and look forward to a much bigger 2020.
Now, are you finding, and this isn't on your list, and I'm sorry, Chaitanya, but with
Sure.
the acquisition of Attunity,
Yeah.
how is their partner network? Because I'm presuming that Attunity have partners in within your region.
Yes,
So,
they do.
has that conversation started yet, or are you still waiting a while for things to settle down?
All right. We have actually started
Mm.
kind of understanding the Attunity partner ecosystem now. Uh, we have had discussions with Maria, who has been spearheading that kind of
Ah, yeah, yeah.
conversation with Attunity. So every region now has a list of Attunity partners and their points of contact and their set of customers and what kind of deals, what kind of accounts. So all of us are now looking at Attunity partner ecosystem. We have
Mm.
started some conversations with them. But in the course of next couple of months, we will
Yeah.
meet with a very select set of Attunity top partners and identify where we can cross-sell and upsell with them.
Fantastic. Because they, I presume, I mean, may not already be selling Click. They could be selling competitive
That's right.
software as well. So,
That's right.
well, I won't mention the T word, but they could be very well doing
Yeah,
that. So that's going to be an interesting one. Okay, so
absolutely.
Chaitanya, we're going to slightly change now. Thank you so much for giving me a very good understanding of your region and what you do. But we're going to
Thank you.
try and understand you a little bit more.
Sure.
So we've got a few questions around, what you do. So you're obviously you've moved. So I
Yeah.
presume you're now living in Singapore. So you've got lots of things going on, and you've got to find out what's going on in that region. But how do you relax when it comes to the end of your day and you get home? What
Right.
makes you relax?
There are actually a couple of things that I do to relax. I spend a lot of time reading. I
Mm.
kind of read on various subjects. I have fingers in many pies, if you ask me. I'm interested in a lot of subjects that I want to learn. So
Mm.
I go home, maybe get a cup of coffee and
Yeah.
sit with my Kindle and read for a couple of hours.
Oh,
And
nice.
then I probably I meditate once in a while, so to
Mm.
kind of calm down and relax and reevaluate and reprioritize. That's something that really gives me a lot of
Yeah.
relaxation. And once after the kids join me here, I love playing with them. I love teaching them how to code. My eldest son is 8 years old,
Yeah.
and I have already started. We have already started teaching him to code in a fun way. Yeah.
Nice. So that's going to be
So,
your breadwinner going forward then, isn't
oh
it?
yes, oh
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, meditation.
And
You mentioned
yeah,
meditation, and I'm certainly a
yeah,
lapsed meditator. I used to do it a lot, and I don't do it as much.
sure.
But it's very understated. I think it can really, really help to get you to completely clean out the mind and
True.
to take a broom to all that stuff that keeps you up at night. So
Very,
I definitely need to be getting back on my meditation stool and
very right.
using it
And
again.
and
Yeah.
there is something that I really use very often is you remember Click had given us a Headspace subscription
Yes.
for a year
Yes.
last year. I loved it so much that I renewed the subscription this year,
Ah.
and I continue to use it, and it's beautiful.
That is
I
a
mean,
good thing then, yeah, because I've never used it, so
yeah,
yeah, okay, well that may be something I should be looking
yeah,
at. So
yeah.
you do all that, so you're relaxing nicely, but do you cook? And if so,
Oh yeah.
what's your signature dish?
Oh yes, I cook because my mom taught me how to cook from the time I was 6, 7, 8. And the one dish that I make really well is the Hyderabadi dum biryani.
Ah,
Uh,
I
yeah,
do like a
and
biryani.
I'm a
Mm.
vegetarian, so I make it with vegetables.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and I make a nice eggplant curry.
Ah,
Yeah,
yes. I was speaking to Hardik Patel, and he was telling me about his curries that he cooks, and
right.
yeah, that's it. It starts to make my mouth watering because I love curries, and I love proper
Oh, lovely.
Indian curries
Oh,
because
next time
yes,
you're in Singapore, you're in for a treat.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah, and because they do a very, very good Indian dishes in the UK, and it's
Oh, yes.
a home, but it's not
Right.
proper Indian. It's all
It's
been
not the same,
changed.
right? Yeah.
No, 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 no. It's not. It's not the same. Okay, fantastic. So I now know where I'm going to be eating when I come over to Singapore. That's good.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to give you an hour with someone, a famous person. Okay, alive or dead, doesn't matter. So you can sit down and
Okay.
have a talk, have a cup of tea or a beer with them. Who would
Hmm.
that be? Who would you choose to spend that hour
Oh,
with?
I'm a huge admirer of the biggest freedom fighter heroes of our freedom movement,
Mm.
Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose.
Ah.
So he was the one who actually formed the Indian National Army
Mm.
during a very difficult time, and people across India remember him for the sacrifices that he has made for the nation. That is the one person that I absolutely love and adore, and I would probably spend not just a day, maybe
Well, you've only got an
days and
hour, so
months.
there you go.
Yeah, maybe days and months to kind of spend with him and understand how that passion comes to live and die for the country. It's
Mm.
that's something that I want to understand that.
Yeah, that was an amazing time in Indian history, wasn't it? And
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
it's very good. Okay, so I'm going to. So you've had your chat there, and I'm going to give you a superpower.
All right.
And this superpower, maybe depending on what you choose, could help you to have more time with your famous person. So
Right.
what would that superpower? What would that be? I'm going to give you a superpower. What would that be?
Sure. Have you watched a very nice show on Netflix called Lucifer?
I've seen it, yes, but I've only
You've
seen it
seen it?
once. I haven't seen the whole
You
series.
haven't seen the whole 4 seasons?
No.
It's a beautiful one. I'd like to have that kind of a power to to for somebody who is actually talking to me to admit their true intent. And
Ah,
at the end of the day, I'm a sales guy, John. I mean, that would make my sales cycles much shorter if I
wouldn't
could
it
do that with the
just?
decision makers.
You'd know if you were column A or column B, wouldn't you? That would be
Absolutely.
amazing. Can you imagine? Your figures
True.
would go through the roof.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
well, you've got
absolutely.
that. That's your superpower.
Yeah,
So I think you've touched on this already, but I'll ask again. You've got your roadmap as far as what your partners are and what you're doing there. But okay, let's not make it for click then. What's your personal goals for the rest of this year?
I have only one goal to spend as much time as I can with my family, with my
Mm.
sons. I would want to teach them a lot of things, learn from them, and in the process, and teach them a new sport possibly. That's something that I
What
would
would that be?
would
What what do, what do you think? What's your? It's not on your questions, but what sport do you follow a lot?
Sure. I follow shuttle badminton a lot.
Ah, right, yes.
Because I used to play in my school and college days,
Mm,
shuttle badminton. So that's something that I would want to teach my kids.
that's excellent. It's a good. So you're not a cricket fan then?
And I am a cricket fan, but I mean, there is a lot of overdose of cricket these days, so I kind of lost
Yes,
track of it.
yes. Yeah, there's a lot going on with the World Cup and everything. It's quite,
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
it's
true,
it's all good.
true.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So badminton, teach your kids badminton. That's a good one for you. So thank you so much, Tanya, for the talk. And I think one thing I will take from this is the fact that when you talk about your children, you said that you will learn from them. Too
Yeah.
often we say they will learn from us, but you
Mm.
can learn from your children a,
Absolutely.
a
They teach
lot.
you a lot.
So that's brilliant.
They teach you a lot.
And I'm going to leave you with a fact. It's actually a bit of safety information for you here.
Sure.
An average of 100 people choke to death on ballpoint pens
Oh,
every year. So
wow.
just be careful with your ballpoint pens. So
Sure.
don't put them in your mouth.
That
Don't
remains
eat
in my
them.
bag.
Yeah. So
Sure.
there's a bit of safety. You can use that. Go and tell your friends to be careful with their ballpoint pens.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well,
Absolutely.
thank
Will
you
do.
once again, Chaitanya. It's been an absolute pleasure, and hopefully I'll get to pop over and see you sometime and taste that wonderful curry of yours.
Thank you, John. Look forward to it. Looking forward to cook.
Fantastic. Take care, Chaitanya. Goodbye.
Take care. Bye bye.